Comedian Joe Pera is back on Adult Swim with his all-new series, Joe Pera Talks to You, and he has some of the most interesting subjects to discuss. This time around, it's breakfast. Yeah, breakfast. And Joe joins me right now. Joe, hello!
Hi, Jeff. Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you, but I haven't had my breakfast yet. I decided to, speak to you first and then maybe go out and get a good breakfast.
Oh, really? You do the news before you've eaten breakfast?
Well, I'm going to go out and have breakfast right after I speak to you. I had to speak to you first about your new show before I can go out and get my day started.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I guess my only advice about breakfast is just to make sure you do it. So, if you get a chance.
Now, Joe, breakfast is my favorite meal of the day. In fact, I had one of those mothers that you couldn't leave the house. You couldn't go to school, couldn't go to work unless you had your breakfast first. She was always there ready to pitch breakfast. And it was always so exciting when we had dinner and it was breakfast. So my mom was like, "What do you want for dinner tonight?" And we would have pancakes, bacon, and eggs. Those were the greatest times when you were a kid, to have breakfast at dinner.
Oh, yeah, me too. I love that night, breakfast for dinner night. But now that you are on your own, you're skipping breakfast?
No, I never skip breakfast. I'm one of those fanatics. In fact, I'm from Vegas, so we really don't have breakfast. We have brunch.
Oh, right. Okay. Sorry, I don't mean to give advice on anything, but yeah, I don't know. Is there a place to get eggs by the studio?
Oh yeah, of course. Great places around here to get eggs. We go to the big places like Denny's, get Moon Over My Hammy, or even IHOP is around here. But we have a lot of local places like Jams, or my favorite is Mary's Hash House. Oh my gosh, that is just one of the best local diners in Las Vegas.
That sounds great. The Hash House Cafe. What are they? Obviously, they're known for their hash, but what type of stuff do you order when you go there?
Well, Mary runs it, and it's kind of like a country kitchen place, but she makes this meatloaf that is just out of this world. So I love getting her meatloaf. I think it's only on Mondays, but I get her meatloaf with some eggs, and oh man, I'm getting hungry just thinking about it.
That sounds great. A woman named Mary who runs a place called Hash House. You should marry her.
Well, Joe, you're a comedian, so come on out to Vegas, do a couple sets, and afterward I'll take you to Mary's Hash House. We'll go together.
I'd love to. Yeah, that'd be great. I've never done stand-up in Las Vegas before. I don't know how it'll go over, but yeah, like to try.
Now, Joe, your new show for Adult Swim, in the past you've talked to us about sleeping, about dancing, even finding the perfect Christmas tree. So why breakfast? Where did that inspiration come from?
Well, I guess I got 9 episodes of the show, and I could choose any subject matter I wanted, and I have to think about it a lot since it takes a while to write and make the show, and I thought that just breakfast is something that I like to think about. So I decided to make the show about it, and also Connor O'Malley, the writer of the episode, his favorite food is eggs, and he talks about eggs a lot. So we just thought it would be good, and there's a lot to explore. It's kind of optimistic meal and subject matter, and that's why it's kind of early in the season. I don't know. It's just a nice thing to think about, and if you go to bed thinking about breakfast, it's kind of exciting and a reason to wake up.
Now, Joe, this is kind of crazy, but I know people who refuse to eat breakfast. They never start the day with breakfast. I think it's crazy. It's the most important meal of the day. Do you know anyone like that?
There are people I know too. Personally, I don't know what I would do without it. I think you're better off for eating it, but if they want to do that, I guess I don't know. I just think it's a nice thing in the morning, and a cup of coffee and eggs is probably the best thing I can think of.
Now, Joe, I'm Generation X, so I am a cereal fanatic. I love cereal. I have different. Look at this. Check this out. Here's my Captain Crunch, but this is the Touchdown Crunch. I got this for a special edition during the Super Bowl. And I love Lucky Charms is my favorite, but check this out. Frosted Flakes and Lucky Charms together. Is that crazy or what? Are you a cereal fanatic? Do you eat cereal in the morning?
Yeah, I like the store brand Raisin Bran a lot. I like Frosted Mini Wheats a lot. And that's it. I don't eat that much of it anymore. I don't know why.
Now, your new show for Adult Swim, Joe, is set in the state of Michigan. Now, how did you decide on shooting the show in Michigan?
there's so many reasons. It's hard to get into, but the thing we liked about Marquette and chose Marquette to set the show is because it was like the snow and the shipping and the industry and the iron and the history and the nature and the Lake Superior and hockey, and they like beer. A lot of things that are in my hometown of Buffalo are also in Marquette, combined with being right on Big Lake Superior, which I've always been fascinated with.
It's so funny in your show, Joe, you talk about a breakfast crew when you go to certain places. I go to this one McDonald's all the time, ever since they started serving breakfast all day, but specifically in the morning, I stop by and have an Egg McMuffin, and there's always like 4 or 5 elderly guys there trading war stories. The breakfast crew is there, and I kind of hear their stories, so I think that's just, they're everywhere, aren't there? The breakfast crew is everywhere.
Yeah, my Uncle Sam goes to breakfast with his buddies at the Niagara Falls McDonald's every morning. It's interesting. That was one thing we wish we got into in the episode was the breakfast crews who meet every day at McDonald's. It seems like a very particular thing, and we never got to explore that, which is a shame because I'm interested in that. And I don't know. Maybe I should do another episode about McDonald's breakfast crew specifically.
Well, Joe, congratulations on your new show, and I wish you all the success. But come out to Vegas and visit us real soon. I'm telling you, I'll take you to some of the best breakfast places that Vegas can show you.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
All right, Joe Pera talks to you is on Adult Swim. He's going to talk about breakfast. I might go break open this Lucky Charms and Frosted Flakes, 2 things that you would never think would go together. I'm Jeffrey K. Howard in Las Vegas. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you next time.